Hi, I'm here at Gidget House in North Sydney, and today is World Maternal Mental Health Day. And I'm here with Arabella Gibson, who is CEO of the Gidget Foundation. And look, Pram Power has been making our mums aware of the Gidget Foundation for the last 2 years. And we're celebrating Mother's Day, which is coming up very soon, with a 2-week event to support the Gidget Foundation and also the Black Dog Institute to help new mums and dads with depression and anxiety. But first of all, why is World Maternal Mental Health Day important?
Well, thanks, Sarah. I think ultimately 1 in 5 new mums and 1 in 10 new dads experience perinatal anxiety and depression. So it's really widely spread. And ultimately that means 100,000 new parents every year in Australia are having to deal with the effect of PMD. So it is a really critical issue and something that we do need to address on a wider community level. The reality is that over 50% of new parents experience adjustment disorders, which it's huge. I mean, if you think of, 10 of your friends that have had children, 50% of those friends will have experienced some form of adjustment disorder. So it's very prevalent, and it's very important that we start talking about this issue. Ultimately, the other thing to consider is that within this group of new mums, maternal suicide is in fact the biggest killer. So it needs to be at the very top of our thought process when it comes to new mums and dads.
And often, I guess as well, when you join up with a new mums group, and there might be 20 mums in that mums group, and if you think about it, 1 in 5, that's quite, like these could be 2 or 3 mums in your mums group.
And look, that's not to take away from the fact that pregnancy is a joy.
Yes.
And we want parents to appreciate and enjoy that period, but it's also important to recognise that there are some parents that will have issues that their family and their health network and the community around them just need to be aware of.
And so coming back to the Gidget Foundation then, so not everyone may not be aware of the Gidget Foundation, so tell us how did it come to be, why does it exist?
So at the Gidget Foundation, who we are, we are essentially a group of volunteers who all came together initially. That's how it started. And today I think we've grown into become somewhat of a force within the area that we specialise in, with really promoting education, awareness and support, as well as treatment around PMD. So essentially what we do is we try wherever possible to make an effect with early intervention.
Right.
And ultimately we have a number of different programs that we have that will help to assist in that process.
Right.
The Gidget Foundation actually started initially because of a really tragic event. Gidget was this gorgeous, young, vibrant Northern Beaches mum, and she tragically took her own life when her little bub was quite young. So her sisters and her family and some of her very close friends all got together and created the Gidget Foundation. And it's just grown and grown and grown and snowballed into where we are today.
And so what sort of services, so you mentioned about the different services, so what sort of services do you offer?
So we run absolutely. Well, we run an emotional wellbeing screening program for expectant parents. And what that entails is essentially giving everybody an opportunity that goes through that program to become one of the red flags, which
but it's good.
Sounds negative, but it's actually a positive thing, because ultimately, if you're one in 5 people, we can kind of address up front, and say, okay, that 20% that were flagged, we can then have our Gidget midwife then comes along and chats with those people to see really, how they're feeling, where they're at, if that potential risk factor or flag that's come up in this screening process is something that may need further treatment down the track. And if that's the case, if they do run into difficulty, then we have Gidget House, where we are today.
Right.
And Gidget House, we offer 10 free psychological sessions with a fully trained clinical psychologist that specialises in this perinatal anxiety and depression area.
Yeah, that's great.
And essentially, it's a bulk bill scenario, and that you have to go and actually be referred by a GP with a mental health plan. So there's a little bit of thing behind the stuff behind it that you have to get forward first. But essentially, we are here to support those people to provide 10 free sessions over the period of a year. So it's and all of our psychologists are just gorgeous people. So it's a really nice.
And they're passionate about
absolutely,
the
they are, and they look at because we work in closely with the GP and our clinical psychologists, they do very much treat the person in a holistic sense.
Yeah, right.
And we involve their family or their community wherever they need to or want to.
Yes.
So it's a really good service and it's working very well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we really like letting all our mums know that it exists. There's no government funding,
none whatsoever. So we are a purely philanthropic organisation in the sense that everything that we have in terms of really providing this support is raised through people like you guys who are amazing. I'm very grateful for your support, but also things like the events that we run each year. We've got multiple different events that we put together. But yes, no government funding whatsoever, so it's every dollar really counts, and we are very, very careful how we spend it. Absolutely. So we've just opened an extension of Gidget House, if you like, within Karitani, the Karitani Parenting Centre at Randwick. And we have a clinical psychologist based there, again, who offers exactly the same services that we offer in our North Sydney branch. And we are looking at expanding further again, so watch this space.
And helping mums who can't even come into the
absolutely. We do offer a video chat service at the moment. So if there's a reason that a mum can't necessarily get to one of our centres, physical centres, then we do offer a video chat service, which is through the likes of things like Skype
and things like that. Is exercise something that you would?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think personally, I think exercise is crucial for everyone's mental well-being. But particularly, mums. I'm a mother of twins myself, and I think that it just gives you an opportunity to have fresh headspace, fresh air, fresh thought processes. You get the body moving and the blood circulating, and invariably you do feel a little bit better. And it does give you a bit of a thrill, to feel like, oh, I've achieved. I've got something, that I can feel really proud of. Outside of, all the other things that you're doing in your life, but it does give you that little bit of a zing. So I think it's absolutely crucial, and I think from an emotional wellbeing perspective, it's important that you give your brain a rest, but it's good to get the body moving to give the brain some kind of space as well.
That's true. It does give you a bit more. You kind of get out of your head, don't you?
Absolutely, and you feel a bit fresher, I think. So I know I absolutely believe that exercise is really, really important. Plays a really important part in all of us having great well-being. Emotional well-being.
Well, look, you guys do an amazing job here, and the services that you offer, a few years ago, nothing like this existed. So you've really filled a gap that was needed just so that mums know that they can just come and get those free psychological consultations, and there's support there that you don't have to sort of struggle and wonder who to turn to, sort of thing.
Absolutely.
It's important.
Absolutely it is.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time today. And so just to reiterate, so over these next 2 weeks, so from the 9th of May to the 19th of May, any mum that comes along to one of our classes in Dulwich Hill and Redfern and Botany will be donating $10 for every mum that attends a class. So we're hoping to get as many mums as we can to come out and exercise with us. So come along and join a class and support a really, really worthwhile foundation here in Sydney. And we just want to see you guys doing expanding and reaching more mums, because it's such an important work that you guys do. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
That's all right.